I caught my boyfriend stealing my ADHD medication. I take Vyvanse every morning for my ADHD. It's a controlled substance that I get from my psychiatrist once a month, and the pharmacy keeps track of every single pill. Last Wednesday morning, I was taking my pill like usual when something felt off. I counted the pills in my bottle and realized I was short. Not just 1 or 2 pills, 5 pills were missing. At first, I thought maybe I miscounted or took them without remembering, but I keep track of this stuff really carefully because you can't just call your doctor and ask for more. These medications are super regulated. I checked my pharmacy delivery confirmation email. It said 30 pills delivered on the 3rd. I counted again, only 25 pills left, and I'd only been taking them for a week. The math wasn't adding up. I tore my apartment apart looking for them. Checked every drawer, every purse, every jacket pocket, nothing. I even looked in weird places like my shoes and the freezer in case I'd put them somewhere random and forgot. The only person who'd been at my place since I refilled the prescription was my boyfriend Ryan. We've been together for 7 months and he has a key. He'd been over 3 times that week. I didn't want to believe it, but I also couldn't ignore that 5 pills were just gone. The problem was I had no proof. If I accused him and I was wrong, it would destroy our relationship. But if I was right and didn't say anything, he'd probably keep taking them. Plus, I was now 5 days short of medication. My psychiatrist, Dr. Martinez, is pretty strict about this stuff. If I told her my boyfriend might have stolen my pills, she'd probably think I was lying to get extra medication early. The pharmacy would definitely flag my account. My insurance might not even cover it. And this was the worst possible timing. Busy season just started at my job and I'd been given this huge project to lead. If I did well, I was basically guaranteed a promotion. But without my medication, I'd be a mess. My ADHD affects everything. Focus, organization, even my emotions. So I came up with a plan. I bought this tiny camera on Amazon that looks like a phone charger. I set it up on my dresser, pointing at my nightstand where I keep my medication. Then I told Ryan I had to work late on Thursday and wouldn't be home until 9. Thursday came and I left for work like normal, but I was watching the camera feed on my phone the entire time. Around 2 in the afternoon, I saw Ryan come into my apartment. He went straight to my bedroom. My heart was pounding as I watched him walk over to my nightstand. He opened the drawer where I keep my pill bottle. Then he opened the bottle, looked around like he was checking if anyone was watching, and took out 2 pills. He put them in his pocket, closed everything back up, and left. I felt sick. It was one thing to suspect it, but seeing it happen was completely different. This person I trusted, who I'd been thinking about moving in with, was stealing my medication. I left work immediately and drove home. When I got there, I texted Ryan asking him to come over. He showed up an hour later, acting totally normal, gave me a kiss, asked about my day, the whole routine. I pulled up the video on my TV and just pressed play without saying anything. I watched his face as he saw himself on camera stealing my pills. He went completely pale, started stammering about how he could explain. Apparently, he'd been taking them to help him focus at work. He said he was going to tell me but didn't know how. He promised he'd pay me back and never do it again. I told him to leave and give me back my key. He actually tried to argue that it wasn't a big deal because we were in a relationship and what's mine is his. I had to explain that stealing controlled medication is literally a crime, that I could lose my prescription over this, that he'd put my job and my health at risk. He finally left and I changed my locks that same night. The next morning, I took the video to my psychiatrist. She wrote me a new prescription and noted everything in my file in case there were any issues with the pharmacy or insurance. She also suggested I file a police report, which I did. Ryan texted me for days trying to apologize. Then his mom called me saying I was overreacting and that he made a mistake. I blocked both of them.